Hello everyone and welcome to RNG University. On tonight's episode of Friday Night Explorers, we're going to explore rogues. Do you remember rogues back in the days when it was dominating meta and everybody hated playing against this deck? It's back. In Explorer format, rogues looks to be very strong because we have a new addition, Faerie Mastermind. Flash flying, whenever our opponent draws an additional card in their turn, or actually it draws their second card each turn, we also draw a card. So whenever they draw more, we draw more. That is amazing for rogue deck, and it's a flash rogue, so you know every rogue should flash in. The whole deck plays on our opponent's turn. We never play on our turn. That is the idea of the deck. I want to see whether or not this deck can stand up in the current Explorer format, and unfortunately I only have 2 off. I would like to run 3, but I don't have 3. I don't want to craft it yet. Maybe 2 off Faerie Mastermind could work already in our current format. It's an amazing art on its own, so I really want to try out this deck. So, Explorer Rogue, I'm going to have to separate the deck list a little bit, and let's talk about sort of the active cards before we talk about the reactive cards. So, actually, let's talk about the rogues first. So we have 4 Thieves Guild Enforcer, the 1-drop rogue that helps us mill our opponent to start off. Then in the 2-drop, we have 2 Faerie Mastermind and 4 Soaring Thieves. So these are the, let me put this back so it's not confusing. These are the 2-drop rogues that we want to flash in, either get us additional card draw or buff our rogues to get in for more damage. Then in the 3-drop, we got Brazen Borrower. Brazen Borrower is the best rogue in the deck, in my opinion. This card is so good because it's got an adventure. We can return target non-land permanent to our opponent's hand, or we can play Brazen Borrower as a 3/1. Also flash, so we can use it to bounce a permanent and then basically a boomerang, and then play Brazen Borrower flash on our opponent's turn as a 3/1 to hit our opponent with, maybe even a 4/1 if we have Soaring Thief. Then we have the Nighthawk Scavenger, the also Vampire Rogue for the 3-drop. I still think this might be useful as a 2-off and then 4 Brazen Borrower, but every deck that I've seen so far runs 3 of each, so it's questionable, and I'm gonna utilize that for now. And basically the idea is that, hey, look, we got any number of card types in the graveyard buffs the Nighthawk Scavenger, so it's not gonna be a 1/3 for long. It's gonna be 4/3, 5/3, 6/3 for 3 mana, flying, Death Touch, Lifelink. It's got evasion, it's got Death Touch, it also gives us life. All that could be useful. Then, not a rogue, but we have 2 Shieldred because, well, card draw is good for us, card draw is bad for our opponent. So those are our sort of on-tempo plays. Now we're going outside of the rogue or creature category. We also have 3 Kaito Shizuki, the 3-drop that help us filter out more card draws. Also, whenever we draw a card, whenever we attack, which we will do every turn for a rogue deck, this is definitely going to get us an additional draw. Or we can make 1/1 blue ninjas that cannot be blocked so that we'll always be able to get through that extra damage if necessary. I don't see that being a very common occurrence. Maybe we can get to -7. I really don't see that happening for rogue decks. So these are the 2-drops, these are the 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop. Aside from that, we also have 4 Thoughtseize in the 1-drop category, sort of a tempo play as well, because we get to remove our opponent's hand, or 1 card from our opponent's hand that might be impactful, before we really go off with our Thieves Guild Enforcer, sort of a full rogue combo. I still don't know quite sure yet what is the right time to play Thoughtseize. Should we play Thoughtseize turn 1 or Thieves Guild Enforcer turn 1? This might be a learning curve sort of deck. Then we have 2 Spell Pierce, take our opponent's impactful plays in the early game. And it's going to be pretty useful to counter a non-creature spell. For creatures, we can kill them with Fatal Push. Fatal Push kills a creature, mana value 2 or less, or if a permanent has left the field, we mana value 4 or less. Permanent my control has left the field. And then we have 1 Cling to Dust. So this is the addition I added because I don't have a 3rd Faerie Mastermind. I think Cling to Dust could serve as a card draw in absolutely necessary scenarios, but we can also remove things in the graveyard for graveyard synergy decks. And then, of course, the main reason why rogues are so strong, Drown in the Loch. Drown in the Loch is such a good card because it's dual modes, right? As long as our opponents have cards in their graveyard, we can use Draw on the Loch for either a counter spell, for a 2-mana counter spell, or a destroy creature, a 2-mana destroy target creature. Both are extremely strong. So Draw on the Loch is the reason why rogues were such high up in the meta as the police are coming after me. And then I have 2 more go for the throat just for additional creature removal if necessary. So you can see the whole deck is very lean. The whole deck is very down and close to the down to the ground curve. Then for the land base, we have one Otawara, one Takenuma, so we have blue and black channel lands. And if you have the Watery Grave, I would recommend that because I will help play the Castle Locthwain. Whenever you control a swamp, this come into play untapped. So that would be best. But I don't have them. And I'm not going to go craft them, so I only run one. This is technically a tap land now. And then I have 2 Hive of the Eye Tyrant for more damage if necessary. It becomes a 3D black Beholder creature with Menace. Importantly, it has Menace, so it's not as easy to block. If our opponent's tapped out, they really don't have removal. This is also 3 extra damage. I know I have 2 swamps to help untap the Castle Locthwain. It's going to be very rare that it happens, but it could happen. And then the dual color lands, we have 4 Clearwater Pathway, 4 Darkslick Shores, 4 Shipwreck Marsh, and 4 Underground River. Funny enough, because it's a very low to the ground deck, I would actually cut the Shipwreck Marsh in favor of Watery Grave, because those shock lands could come into play untap if we needed to. These always come into play tapped if we were on the slower end, right? We would much rather be on the faster end than on the slower end. So I would not cut the Darkslick Shores. I would cut the Shipwreck Marsh for the Watery Grave, and that can also make, for the Watery Graves, can also make the Castle Locthwain untapped when it comes to play. So that's the whole deck list, that's the whole idea. Let's go and try out this deck. I really look forward to playing Rogue, although I remember when I was playing Rogue, when I tried playing Rogue in Standard back in the days, it was a very high risk, high reward type of deck. And generally speaking, whenever I play those decks, I just see the high risk part and not the high reward part. So let's see if that changes today. We're playing against Thoughtseize. Opponent goes first. All right, we're already getting punished turn 1. So I guess the play would be. The question is whether or not we should drop Shipwreck Marsh turn 1. Mystic Elf. So we're not dropping Shipwreck Marsh turn 1. We are Fatal pushing it. Can't let them ramp. Unfortunately, our next turn really isn't anything. Can't counter that. Can't play anything else. So maybe we'll just drop the Marsh. Go ahead and turn. The Cling to Dust really isn't going to hit anything. We don't have a blue mana, otherwise we will have Faerie Mastermind. So here's where the Watery Grave would have helped a lot. Getting our tap lands on this turn. Oh, this is painful. Activated abilities of artifacts can be activated. That's fine. I don't have artifacts. He's going to reveal an artifact.
True goodness can never be corrupted.
Okay. Okay, so now we got a counterspell up and a card draw up. So we're just gonna pass the turn here. He's probably gonna play the Asika's Chariot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wolfhaven Hollow. Do I want to? That's taps for 3 now, right? That doesn't do anything. I don't want to counter it because I want to counter the Asika's Chariot. So, but then it taps for how much? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He would have enough for Spell Pierce, right? So I should stop it this turn. Oh wait, what am I doing? So I can't even stop it. That taps him out though. You can play it, but it'll tap him out. And then with Faerie Mastermind, the thing about Asika's Chariot is that it doesn't fly. Alright, that taps him out. This doesn't do anything. I don't have any artifacts in the deck. Yeah. It just doesn't do anything. Until next turn, up to 1 target non-creature artifact becomes an artifact creature. Alright, let's not let him have that out. So this is a weird deck. He has 2 in the graveyard. Can't counter anything with only 2 in the graveyard here. So maybe it's better for me to just Kaito. Right, drawing the Loch doesn't do anything when there's 2.
There are many secrets I don't know.
2 drawing the Loch. Alright, so let's put out black or blue. Blue scares him a little. Black is more useful. Oh, this is hurtful. Okay. Do I want to cling to dust? I might want to cling to dust. I'm not really as scared of the Sea's Chariot. If you play the Sky Sovereign, it's going to deal 3 damage. Okay. That doesn't do anything. He gets to untap this for 3 mana. That's pretty good for him.
Just can't help myself.
Basically a free Kiora.
Drop, ripples and grows.
This does not kill planeswalkers, right? Only creatures. What can I even exile? Nothing really crazy here. He is not a graveyard deck. It's mono green devotion with gotta exile cards from my own graveyard. Let's get out a Spell Pierce. Just to draw a card. Another Kaito. And then we got a Thieves Guild. So, what can we do? He can crew, maybe? How many cards does he have? This makes him mill 2 cards. Might be important. Do we want a plus? We're not attacking this turn, so... But the ninja can't be blocked. Oh, this is painful. Painful choice here. We have 2 blue and 2 black, so let's bring out the Takenuma. This way, I have Thieves Skill Enforcer and then 2 Drown in the Loch to counter 2 spells. 1 spell that costs 4, and then another spell that could cost 5. Let's see what he does. Not in a good position here in any way whatsoever, but this costs 5. He has 4. Oh boy. Can't even do anything this way. He gets to draw a card. And he gets to put some cards in his graveyard. Just a forest. Okay. That also helps me because he drowned and locked me. Whenever it dies, exile but target a card from your graveyard on top of your library. Interesting. He's gonna crew. I have to let him crew it. Then I have to kill it.
Let's get moving.
Polychronos, reach, and nothing else. Still scary though, so I think I can kill it. What's the black? 6 and then... Okay, so this is pretty scary. Reach lifelink here. I think I should counter it. Manwar Elf. You got it. 3/2 Death Toucher. That's pretty good. Let us go for the attack. Can't kill the Kiora this way, right? Cannot kill the Kiora this way, but I'm gonna go in anyways. See if he blocks. He does block.
I've got that sinking feeling again.
Draw a card. Another Enforcer. Let's put out a Shieldred. So, I don't know if we're in any good shape, but as long as they don't get you know, storm the festival here, we can survive a turn. But this is a lot of mana. He has a lot of mana at his disposal. Yeah, something crazy is happening. Cavaliers. Resolves. Couldn't stop the first Cavalier, so nothing else matters. Thoughteize. Alright, he has a really wonky deck, to be fair. It's a lot less than what I expected, but if he storms Festival at any point, we still lose. It's too scary. He's also milling himself, which helps me if I want to mill him to death. Okay, that is the wrong card to untap, by the way. I guess he doesn't have mana, but the Nykthos is the card that he should untap. How much mana will he add? 3, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 mana for adding. He can still use it. Nykthos will give him 8 mana, so he can still get a lot of mana out of this. Okay. That I don't know why he's doing. What does this do? Sacrifice, reveal the top 4 card of your library. Put an artifact, enchantment, or land, or planeswalker card from among them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. Another card. You choose green. Yeah, of course. And that just gives him a card. Okay.
Until you have lived as a statue, do not talk to me of pigeons.
Something scary is coming. I don't know why he did this last. He should do this first. I can't see his sideboard, right? I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to see his sideboard. It's probably hidden. Oh. He chose a card that he's 1 mana off to play. Interesting. See, you could have played it. Let's make sure you don't have the top cards that you want. There's that storm. Alright, I only have 1 Cling to Dust. I cannot exile both storms, so... I mean, that can untap. Oh, again, untap Nykthos. Alright, that's too scary. I'm just gonna leave. Bye. That's a storm coming, and I'm not living for that. He's at 16. I cannot burst him next turn, and I cannot mill his whole library in 1 turn. Our opponent got a better, you know, curve off than us. We were 1 card off. If they had an extra card in their graveyard, then we could have gotten the mill from the Thieves Guild Enforcer, and then Drawn the Loch will be able to counter their liege. That costs 5. It costs 5, right? And we had to play a tap land on turn 2. And that's the main reason why we lost. Opponent goes first, of course. Of course, we have untapped lands now, and it's still kind of a tap land on turn 2. Unfortunate, but let's see what they have. Okay, so Concealed Courtyard. That means I don't have to worry too much about green. Never mind. Oh, it's absent. Okay, so it's the rats. Thieves Guild Enforcer. Exile 2 cards. Or mill 2 cards. The problem with playing against the rats is that now I'm helping them whenever I mill them. Grizzly Savage. He's milling himself. Actually, I should look at whatever he revealed. He's putting a land in his hand. That land's going to come into play 2 or fewer, so that come into play untapped. Got to be a little bit worried. He has no artifacts in his graveyard yet, so there's that. This is where Cling to Dust will help. -3, -1. So if an opponent has 8 or more, how many does he have? 7? Mill 2? -3, -1. Shipwreck Marsh. Take them damage. You take them damage. Alright, so we got Thieves Guild Enforcer and a Bouncer. This could work out for one turn. He can't cast Can't Stay Away. He also doesn't have... Oh, he has a hard cast Can't Stay Away. Does he have Artifact in his graveyard? No, he has one to see his Chariot. Okay, so it is mana value 3 or less. Before he goes into combat, I'm going to bounce it. Raffine's Informant. Connives. Mana value 2 or less. So I can push it to its death. Pass to combat. Pass to attacker. Before my turn, another Enforcer. Alright, we'll Fatal Push the Informant out of the way. So we can go in for 10 damage. 10 freaking damage. Alright, we're not going to play the Nighthawk Scavenger because we can flash in the Brazen Borrower if we need to. The Grease Fan is not going to give him anything. On one turn, he can get the Palinchron and attack for the Angels. That was okay. I can Fatal Push one of the Angels. Yeah, this is exactly what he's planning. He's going to haste me and then attack with the Angel. Yes. And then it bounces. Okay. And then we will play the Brazen Borrower. GG. So we can Fatal Push the Angel, but we didn't need it because that's 4 creatures. And he only has 2 blockers anyways. So he was at 1. He went first. If we went first, it would have been a different game. We would have won a lot faster. But we still won, right? And that's all that matters. We only care about winning. We don't care about how we win, or how long it took, or whether or not the game was cheating us every game we play. As long as we win. Ready to play the new Star-Lord 20. I don't know who these players are and how do they always get to go first. We get to go first! That never happened before in the history of the game. But this hand is horrendous because we have no creatures to play on. So when we finally get to go first, we have no place. We got a bounce that happens turn 2 maybe. And then that's all we have. I have to mulligan his hand. Alright. So this is way worse. But we have Kaito to put back. I guess that's... Or Nighthawk. Nighthawk to put back. We get to Thoughtseize. I don't know if I want to put back Nighthawk. Kaito is a card draw though. So yeah, I'll put back Nighthawk because it's going to be a little slow. So, I guess we'll play this first so we can Thoughtseize him. Pay 3. Oh, red. Yikes. Okay, Prowess. If you control non-combat damage, Pyromancer enters the battlefield. It deals 2 damage to target player or planeswalker. Light of the stage, Spectacle. And then a Bone Crusher Giant. Interesting. I do want him to exile the Bone Crusher Giant, but Light of the Stage basically gives him an additional card draw. What does Spectacle do? You may cast a spell for its Spectacle cost rather than its mana cost if they have dealt damage to me. Alright, so that's additional card draw for them. I'd rather they don't do that. But we're going to need our Shieldrits really quickly because this is probably going to burn us to death. Yikes. Okay, so this card, if a source would deal non-combat damage to a creature opponent controls, put that -1/-1 on it instead. So it's got Prowess, and most likely he's gonna try to pump it with Prowess. If he doesn't, we're gonna Fatal Push it either way. If he plays another creature, like this creature here, we might Fatal Push this instead. No, 2-1, 1-2. We'll probably Fatal Push this still, because it's prowess. This card's not that good. Gotta pay the extra 1. Alright, Marsh. Kaito, draw a card, discard a card. It's not fun. It's not fun to be behind like this. We've got to go first. We didn't draw a single one of our 1-drop rogues. Oh, Shieldred. I do want Shieldred out. That means that I have to keep the Shipwreck Marsh and drop the best card that was left in my hand. Painful. Just painful. But hey, you know, I can still survive. Slightly. If I top deck a land though, I can pitch it with the Kaito. If I don't top deck a land, it's gonna feel pretty bad to draw a card and discard whatever card. Is there really thought process going into this? Come on, you're red. Just turn the card sideways. New Star Lord. I guess this guy's only 20 years old. He does not know how to play Magic yet. It's really thinking it through. Spectacle, top 2. Here it comes. They always have it, even though I made him discard it. Oh, okay. So he doesn't have it. I have Shieldred. Give me some life. I don't want another land.
There's no secret I can't uncover.
So I have 5 life now? Or 5 life. I have 5 loyalty on Kaito. Not as easy to get rid of. And a Shieldred. He has to full-on attack Kaito to get rid of that. And if he does, I'm not really going to protect it. Because I need Shieldred alive. Every draw I make is more life. And he could pump this to 3, right? This is not Spectacle, though. Can he? Oh. As long as there are 2 or more instant or sorcery, it gets +1/+0 haste. You can't 1-mana 3 damage, so... Is this prowess? This is not prowess. Neither is this. I guess I'll block that. Can he deal 2 damage to me? 3 damage to Shieldred with 1 mana? Is there a Spectacle that does 3 damage? Any target. Oh, okay. So, no. Ha! Play with fire. Uh-oh. That's gonna bring me down to something pretty low here. I'm gonna need a decent card draw. Spell Pierce.
What do we have here?
Spell Pierce. So, Soaring Sky Thief blocks 1 creature, right? And then the Spell Pierce counters that spell. Okay. No attacks. End turn. Oh, this is so risky here. But I gain 4 life a turn with Kaito being alive, so I might be able to sustain the game. Soaring Sky Thief. Mill some cards? No? Oh, this does not mill. Okay. That means I'm gonna block your Swiss Sphere here and your Vasharo Micromancer. I know what I said. Counter. Alright, that gets rid of the Adventure. I take 2, go down to 4. Oh, drown in the Loch. This is going to be painful for our opponent. And they quit because they cannot come out of that anymore. GG! Here's Rogue beating Mono Red. Good old days. Good old days of using Rogue to beat Mono Red. That was really fun. It was not fun in the early game because Shuffler really tried to screw us over. But I am a fantastic player, so I come out of that ahead. The idea is to really think about your draws. I want to say that, but I did get lucky with exactly top decking Shieldred there, right? And Shieldred is the new inclusion in any black deck that basically answers red. The problem with that, you have to be extremely careful with how you use Shieldred. Because if you block and they remove Shieldred, all your game plan goes out the window. I had to go extremely risky there, and I took all the damage our opponent could dish just so that my Shieldred stayed alive. I didn't know that he only had to play with fire. If he had one of the spectacle cards, they could have killed Shieldred, and I would not have been able to win that game without her on the board, gaining me 4 life a turn with Kaito. So yeah, that's how that deck was played. It was very risky because I had to use Thoughtseize to look into our opponent's hand, and that took 3 life out of me. If you have Shock Lens, way better than Shipwreck Marsh. I think I lost the first game because I didn't have Shock Lens. If I had Shock Lens, that game would have gone differently. But that's the game. That is the Rogue playstyle. That's all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me in this Friday Night Explorer. Look forward to new games in the future. Thank you very much. See you guys next time.